My name is Anne Law from Home Life Realty 1. I'm a real estate broker in Toronto that specializes in design-focused properties. Today, I've invited Carolyn Moss from Moss Son Architects to talk about one of her projects in East York.
Well, thanks, Anne. I'm Carolyn, Moss Son Architects. We're a boutique architecture firm in Toronto. We specialize in healthcare, retail, and residential projects, and we look forward to talking about this project with you today.
Carolyn, I've been following a lot of the residential projects that your firm does, and I actually have an active home buyer who wants to buy into this area, a typical bungalow, and do a second story. Can you tell us a little bit about this house?
Yeah, sure. This was one of the smaller bungalows in East York. It's about 550 square feet, 2 bedrooms, when my client bought it. And they purchased it to create a family home with source of income. And so the result is a modern home. We've got a second floor addition and a 2-story front addition that creates 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a laundry on the second floor, and an open plan ground floor, and it has a 1-bedroom basement unit.
And let's bring Greg in. So Greg, why don't you tell us a little bit about your home search?
Well, me and my wife are very design oriented, and we've been looking for a home that suits our needs and our style. And we love this area, and all the new homes that we've found haven't really suited our style and taste. And so we're looking to renovate an existing home. So if you can tell us a bit what we can expect.
What you find in this area, yeah. So this pocket of East York, you can find anything from bungalows to semi-detached to 2-story turnkey homes. So potentially, if you want to do a project and customize to a 4-bedroom, the best option will be to buy a tear-down bungalow, and you'll be looking at prices starting from the low 600s for a 25-foot lot.
So this house is exactly kind of what we're looking for. What can you tell me what you've had to go through for this process?
Sure. So the homeowner came to us, and the first thing that we asked for is a wish list. Say, okay, what kind of spaces do you want? Like how many bedrooms, bathrooms? How do you entertain? How do you use your kitchen? How many kids do you have? How many kids are you going to have? Dogs, cats, like as much information as possible about what kind of lifestyle. And then of course, other things that are really important are the schedule and the budget. Like if you need to move into a house in very short order, then we might change how the house is designed so that the approvals process takes less time. And then obviously, yeah, budget is another one. You have to have a good idea of what kind of budget that you have available, and also what's in keeping with the neighborhood to keep the property so that it's not really out of line with the neighborhood. So once we have your wish list and your budget and the schedule nailed down, then we have a 5-stage process. The first one is developing the master plan. Okay, what do we want to be at the end, and how do we get from here to there? And so we come up with, first we do an approvals process review, and so that's checking if you need committee of adjustment, variances, if you need tree protection. The city of Toronto is very careful about their trees, as they should be, and so you can't build in tree zones, so we check out that kind of information. And the other thing we do is a building code check to see if there are any restrictions that will be caused by building code issues, like for example, windows on the side of the house. If you have existing windows on the side of your house and they're grandfathered, you can keep them. There's issues like that. So we do a check about what's possible, and then from there we come up usually with sort of 3 schematic design ideas. So big ideas on how you can achieve what you're looking for in various different ways. And usually we have different price points according to those. Like this is the sort of basic version, then one that's meets your wish list, and then what would be really great, maybe meets everything on your wish list. And what we find is usually there's a wish list and there's a budget and they don't match, and that we have to somehow bring them together. So that's phase 1. So once we've finally gone through the schematic design options, we've chosen an option, developed that, and you're really excited about the plans, we've got a preliminary budget that you're accepting, then we take that plan and we start the approvals process. and that's if any variances are required, and in this area, usually they are, that's going to permit you to get the house that you want. So that's a process that we go through with the city. We get a zoning review done, we take that zoning review, and we submit it to the Committee of Adjustment. And that's about a 2 to 3 month process. At the end of that process, there's a hearing, and we go and present at the hearing to request the variances that are needed to do the project. And then the city, there's a committee at the city that decides. Usually, we've never lost at the city yet, mostly because we usually go through with reasonable proposals.
You're working with a winner.
Yeah. Well, we like to make sure that what we're doing is in keeping with the neighborhood, and we're not trying to put in a 6-story tower in a row of bungalows. So that's a really important process, and it takes a bit of time. It can take 2 to 3 months just to get that process. But during that time, we're also, proceeding with the design. We need to do building permit drawings and construction documents, and that's the zoning drawings. That tells you how big the house is and how high it is. But then the building permit drawings, that's what's really telling you how the place is going to be built. What size of floor joists you need, what kind of insulation you have in the wall. And also we're developing then what kind of finishes you want, what the kitchen layout is exactly going to be. So that's our third phase. Phase 3 is the building permit and construction documents phase. So once all our approvals are done, we can finally submit for building permit. We have the building permit in at the city. Then we're still working with you just to nail down, okay, we're going to get tile. It's coming from this source. We're windows. We're going to get what kind of windows we're getting. Fiberglass windows, wood windows, aluminum windows, and going through all the various benefits and pros and cons of each option. So that's our phase 4. That's nailing down all the details of the project so that you know exactly what you're going to get when your home is built. Phase 5 is the construction part, and that's the first part of it, is engaging a contractor. And that's, everyone's watched the home show TVs and the nightmares that are out there. And that's really one of the benefits of working with an architect. We've got a stable of contractors that we've worked with for a long time. They want to keep us happy. We also want to keep them happy. So it's a two-way relationship that makes sure that, that the product you get at the end is going to be well done. So the first step in that phase 5 construction part is engaging a contractor. So we take the documents that we prepared and we'll put them out to a number of contractors to get proposals back. And then it's a matter of deciding who you'd most like to work with. There's sometimes, some people, maybe they don't have the lowest price. It's not always the lowest price that's the best, right? You might think that the quality and the references of a particular contractor, and maybe the way they work is more in keeping with your kind of style, right? You're very interested in design. You want to make sure you get a contractor that's able to deliver that kind of detail for you. So we've gone through the design, the approvals, we've got a building permit, we've got a contractor on board, and now you've got to get the place built. So it's always an interesting and exciting time for a homeowner. The day the roof came off the client was really excited, of course. And so for this particular house, that roof came off in April, and they moved in December. So it was about a 9-month build. Yeah. So that's not too bad for essentially, this was essentially a new house. We kept the foundation and 2 of the existing sidewalls, but the rest is essentially a new build.
Great.
So, Greg, that was a lot of information, and do you have any questions about the process?
No, that was really good. Very, very clear and understandable.
Oh, great. So, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to start a project and build your own home. And I just want to add that usually during the process of the search for your home, we engage the consultation of an architect very early on. So Carolyn would basically be part of your team. And you know, if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to us and call us, and continue to join us for our video blog.